the Easy Woman Spears, for sure.
Excuse me. Did you
There's free water upstairs.
I hear Adriana's walking.
I brought some tissues in case it was emotional.
I don't need no questions. If a bitch walked in here and you didn't like how they sashay their way in, put them on a motherfucking box. I don't need no timeouts. I need expulsion. I need deletion. I need never again to come back. That's what I need. No questions asked. I trust your motherfucking judgment. This is why you have a motherfucking wrench. I'm not gonna ask you questions. I'm not gonna inquire. I'm not gonna go back. I couldn't even tell you why I go back in my motherfucking panel to unlock people. Lock them bitches out and get them the out. If you didn't like the way they cross their legs, if it's too fat for you, if it's too straight for you, if it's too queeny for you, if it's too trendy, if they got titties on your back and you don't like titties on your back, put them on a motherfucking box. Thank you, Hulk. I love you, baby. I don't need no questions. If a bitch walked in here and you didn't like how they sashay their way in, put them on a motherfucking box. I don't need no timeouts. I need expulsion. I need deletion. I need never.
Good evening. I am Juanqui and welcome to my world. Thank you for being here. The parental units are in town. The parental units are driving me insane. The parental units are listening right now. So, you know, we're very honest up around this zip code and shit. All right, I am going to give you an opening and then I'm going to give you the person who's asking for who's confessing. All right, the first confession. This is just the little appetizer. It says, "I am going to confess that I brought a bra as a man." Well, he brought the bra because he's clearly putting titties on somebody's back. He says, "I've got a bit of a confession. For a while, I've been thinking about buying a bra, but I kept putting it off. You know." Yes, Ms. View. Ms. View says, "Say what?" Yeah, yes, I know that. Yeah, lips, teeth, tip of the tongue. Okay. "I am going to confess that I bought a bra as a man." "I've got a bit of a confession. For a while, I've been thinking about buying a bra, but I kept putting it off. I was nervous about how it would feel and what people might think. It honestly took a lot to even consider going into a store. But I finally did it. I went and I bought me one, and I'm really glad I did." It felt like a small step, but also a big one for my personality. Okay. That's just the appetizer. And somebody says, "Awesome," laughing out loud. Somebody said, "Is this the cross-dressing or the comfort? Is this for cross-dressing or for comfort? If for comfort, there are a lot of compression shirts made for male runners that may meet your needs. Now, I have a feeling this is for cross-dressing. Somebody else says, good for you, enjoy your bra. Why they keep saying bro? Somebody says that it's called a bro, B-R-O. Let's see. Miss View says, they are comfortable when they are fitted right. Somebody says, a store with self-checkout makes it easy to do. Miss View says, makes men look better in a t-shirt. So that's the opening. That was the opening. But now here we go for the one. Okay? Here we go. This is the course. To my grandmother, who took me in and raised me, I'm glad you are gone. I don't know. Somehow, ladies and gentlemen, somehow that sentence doesn't sound right. Okay. When I was 13, I ran to you from a bad situation. You took me in and opened your home. I was a hurt kid, and you tried to do what you could. We have had a rough relationship. Coming into your home as a teen was the perfect setup for arguments and ego to blow up. Last year, we got into a fight, and you told me that with any chance I got, I would leave. And yes, you were right. I did. You were supposed to be kind, strong, forgiving, and overall a safe place. But you were not. You manipulated me with money. You manipulated me with materials. And you would withhold your love if I didn't fall in line. I watched you do the same thing with my little cousin. I moved out of your house twice because you drained everything from me. I wasn't allowed to figure out what kind of person I wanted to be. I had to follow you and your wants and desires. You held it over my head that you saved me. I moved back in 3 years ago. Because of mutual benefit. Grandpa died and you were sick and alone. I needed safe refuge again. Ha 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 ha. I added the laughter. It just felt diabolical enough. Because, boy, the way this non-melanated young man is talking to his deceased grandmother is appalling. But I digress. Let's continue. These past 3 years, I have lost myself again. It took 3 years. I took 3 years for myself before this. Avoiding you, building myself up, learning about myself. And in the same past 3 years, it's all slipped away from me. You passed away a month ago. I've cried. I've been angry, confused, hurt. I love you through all of it. The manipulation, the selfishness, the pain that you have purposely bestowed upon me. I am free now. I promised you I will be with you until you died, and I kept that promise. It's been 3 years of being on call for you, obsessed with your safety and well-being, disregarding myself. I loved you, but it felt like you hated me, even until the very end. Right now, I hate you. I look back at everything you did to me and see how wrong you were. You lied to me and told me I will be taken care of when you passed. But no, you left everything to your daughter. Your daughter has taken everything. I hate all of you. And there, ladies and gentlemen, we find the root of the cause for this young, non-melanated man to be monologuing this way. It's all about the fucking will. Okay? I swear, if this doesn't say to me lack of melanation, lack of love, I don't think I've ever come across, a urban character that did not care for their grandmother. Even the drug dealers, even the prostitute boys that I met, even the street walkers, the street runners, all of that. No matter how bad of a person they were, they still have some respect for their grandmother. This non-melanated young man here is upset because the grandmother did not leave him anything in the will. Drop a fucking bomb on that. He felt that because he had to take care of her, he took care of her. Mind you, she took him in. Now, it sounded like she had rules. Well, yes, at 13, you need to have some motherfucking rules. It's a reason why you're over here and not over at your parental units. It's a reason. And even if it's no reason, this is still my roof. You are still a child at 13. You will obey and follow the rules and regulations of this home. And no, it ain't Johnny don't get no dessert and Johnny gets a timeout. It's no, you ain't gonna be coming and going, and you ain't gonna be slaying no puss up in my house, and you better be ready to contribute to the electric bill. You ain't gonna be in no basement and no attic rolling it and smoking it. And this ain't a whorehouse with the tracing up and down of the girls coming in, or the boys, in and out on the whole. No, you will have some rules and regulations. Till your name gets on this deed, it's my house. Let's see what some other folks are saying. Somebody whose name says also non-melanated says, "Hey, little friend, hugs, and please get therapy. So you won't waste away the rest of what can be a beautiful life." The intention is kind, but telling someone in that much pain to just get therapy can come off a bit dismissive of everything they're trying to process right now. No. That is the best advice we can give. Go get some fucking therapy. If you're young enough that you are in college, a lot of college programs give you access to therapy for free or at a discounted price because you are a college student. Get therapy is exactly the advice that this person should be given. Somebody says, "Rest in peace, but fuck you, grandma." Drop a bomb on that. Somebody says, and a lot of people like this one, "You really got screwed over even though you did the right thing. May you find yourself again and find some peace. You really deserve some." And then the last one, and I'm going to give you a little bit of my thoughts. Somebody says, "I can feel your pain. I'm so sorry you have all this sitting on your heart and in your head. Take the time you need to feel how you may. Remember, this is not the end of your story. I hope you find peace. Sometimes people just suck." All right. I actually came across, I remember I was doing a show somewhere in White Plains. up there in a theater in White Plains, and we were in rehearsals for a few months, and I was taking the train back. I would have to go from the city up to White Plains on the train and then come back. I was taking the train with actually the guy who's my second understudy, who never went on because I had to be out, which never happened, and then the person behind me had to be out, and then he will go on. But so it was my second. It was the second understudy, the third under the second. I'm lead one, two, the second understudy. I was on the train with him, and he actually I just got a flashback from him. He was telling me about how much he hated his grandmother. His grandmother was living. She was living, and he just despised her completely. And he was just running off his mouth. He was young, and at that moment I could see that okay, a lot of what's coming out of your mouth right now is you being young, inexperienced, never really struggling like that, aside from probably your sexuality. But you know what I'm saying? Never really had like hard labor outside, but I felt like I was filtering everything he was saying through the eyes of this is a young person. You know what I'm saying? So I think that might be the same case here. A bunch of years later, I'm talking about maybe like a bunch of years later, like recently, within the last 5 years, because I have him on my social media. I saw him post about the grandmother passing, and he was really upset about it. He did the whole funeral thing. He was sad about it, the whole nine. So I haven't really been in touch with him like that, but it was, I don't want to say it was good to see, but it was interesting to see that now that he had grown up, he had been in a couple of successful national tours. He's like a man now, that all those feelings were gone. And from the looks of it, from the pictures, and even when they did the memorial and on the anniversary of it, he would put messages about her. That whole thing that I had listened to on the train did not seem to be present. I think a lot of times as young people, we see things through the lens of undeveloped brains and chemistry that's fucked up, and feeling like everybody's out to get us and nobody gonna understand us. I've had my moments when I did not care for my parents, and now as a grown ass man, I can actually respect and appreciate the overprotectiveness, if that's even a term, that they led our lives with, and literally led my life with. Because at the end of the day, now that I'm an adult, grown ass man, I see that they were just trying to protect their kids. And with the overbearing, the crazy ass rules, Miss View, I think I was like 17 or 18. I think it was 18. Maybe I'll do this as a story time one day. I had because I was on tour, I had to do my schooling. I was doing my college in like one day, all of my 12 credits, 15 credits in one day. And I will go like to class until like 9:45, was like in the evening, and then I'll have to take the train and go home. And at one point, my mom gave me a curfew at 18 years old of 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, Miss View. I said to her, I'm in class. And she said to me, well, you're going to have to drop that class. I said, oh, no. See, no, I'm the first generation to go to school. I did all of the FAFSA forms and the whole nine. You haven't done anything. And she said, well, if you don't like it, you know what we have to do. And by the next weekend, I was out of it. I was moving the fucks out, throwing as much as I could on big, glad, black garbage bags. And I had my friend back up his SUV car right into the projects, back it right the fuck up. Okay? And then I left. And what that then opened up was at 18. Yes, baby. At 18 years old, she wanted me home at 8 o'clock. I'm going to do this as a story time. I'm going to have this because it goes at that time I was on a tour, and I was the youngest on tour with a whole bunch of adults playing high school students. But I was literally just out of high school. So so we would go to eat sometimes after a good show or whatever on payday. You know, everybody will run over around the corner and cash their checks and shit. And then we will go have they will have drinks. I will have some meals at like Uno's Pizzeria and shit. And they were pumping me up. When it was time for me to leave, it was like 7:45. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it into Brooklyn by 8 o'clock. And they're like, 8 o'clock? It's Friday. And I'm like, no, my mom. They're like, your mom? Do you know that you're making your own money, good money? You on tour. You in college. You a grown-ass man. Go to the payphone. And this is what you're going to tell. I remember it was a thick black girl who gave me this whole speech. She said, go to that payphone, because they used to have a payphone right by the bathroom at Uno's Pizzeria on 14th Street. Go to the payphone and go call your mom and tell her, say, it was payday. I went to get something to eat. I'm calling you because I'm not going to be home at 8 o'clock. And if she tells you anything, you're going to tell her, Mom, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Drop a bomb on that. Oh, Miss View. So I went over there and I walked to the back of that payphone, put my 25 cents in, dialed the number. And it was like 7:50 by now. My mom picks up the phone. And I'm like, I went to Uno's after the rehearsal, you know, and so they're taking a long time with the pizza. So I'm just going to let you know that I'm not making my 8 o'clock curfew. And she started cussing me the fuck out. And I said, wait. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Oh, my God. The phone hung up. Not my end, her end. Miss View. And when I sashay my way into the domicile at around 9:45, 10 o'clock, something like that, because we didn't even stay that long. Oh, it was all she wrote, Miss View. She started twisting my ears and got on top of me, and it was hands flying all over the place, and my daddy had to come into the room and get her off me. And she was slapping me and pulling hair and twisting ear in the whole nine. And if you don't like it, you know what I have to do. And I said, fine, I'm gone. And I slammed that fucking door. I think it almost came off the hinges. And then the next day, by like 10 a.m., I was packing and leaving. I had secured the next spot, and I was on my way out. But now, I can acknowledge that she was just trying to be protective. And Miss View says, and she is there in your house right now. Yes, she is. Yes, she is, Miss View. Yes, she is. Yeah. And this morning, Miss View. No, I'm gonna wait for them to leave, and then I'm gonna tell you what happened this morning. Because she's staying out at my siblings' home, but they're spending, like, during the day they come over here and they spend the day or whatever. So, she arrived this morning unannounced. Okay, my husband was getting ready to. My husband, Mom, if you're hearing this, get off the thing right now. Get off the video right now. Off the video. I'm telling you. My husband had me screaming this morning. And right before the screamation of it all was going to start commencing, Incredible Hulk said to me, is she just going to walk in? I said, no. She's always calling me when she's outside just to make sure, and the whole nine. So, we begin the process, the whole night. It's like, my breath and my heart starts palpitating again. Yeah, I know I was off today. So then Hulk, gets in the shower, gets ready and heads out. Because remember, she has my car. So Hulk leaves in his car, so the driveway is empty. I'm assuming she thought there was nobody home. And she has the codes to my door and the whole nine. So I'm in the kitchen in my underwear, still dripping. Okay, because I want to do the dishes. I had eaten something. I wanted to do the dishes, and then I could jump in the shower. You know, because I didn't want to shower and then do dishes. Like, so I'm doing some dishes, and I'm gonna jump in the shower, and I hear the keys turn, like the door jiggling and shit, and I'm like, oh shit, and I have to run from the kitchen into the thing to throw some pants on. All right. Because she's just walking, she's just tracing right through. She was on her cell phone, so she didn't even acknowledge me because she was on a cell phone in an important call. And I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. If this lady would have been an hour before, this would have been something else. This would have been something else. So yeah. Anyway, yes, I love my parental units. I love them, and I can appreciate. Even though back then we had a hate relationship. I did not. After I moved out, I did not see them for like 6 months. I will tell this as in a longer video. But looking back at it now, my parents were young. They were trying the best that they could. They were under so much stress, and at the end of the day, when you really think about it, you have a lawyer. You have an international doctor. You have a creative arts person. They did something right, and all of us went to college. Not only did we all go to college, the seats got better throughout to the point that the last one, the lawyer, was actually the salutatorian, the second one, not the first one, not the valet, but the salutatorian. She went to school completely for free, undergrad based on merit, and completely for free to law school based on merit. They covered the dorms and everything, and because there was no balanced Dumas view, have you ever heard of that? Undergrad and law school completely covered because of scholarships and grants and things like that, because of merit, because of how well she did in high school. There was actually not a chargeback, but a refund given to her at the end of the year, because there was a lot of money left over from everything that she had, all her packages that she got for the whole thing, all years completely covered. Amazing. Now, one can say that, the parents can be a mess and then one kid comes out still to be good. But when we hit it out of the ballpark like that, 3 generations in a row, back to back to back, they did something right. They did something right. It happens. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she did very well. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who came through. Thank you so much. Something to be proud of. Yes. Yeah, they I know they are. And I'm glad that we were able to, we went through the teenage shit, but nothing, other people had it worse. So I hope that this young man can get the therapy that he needs. He desperately needs therapy, because there's a lot going on here. And the part about her not leaving him no money from the will and stuff like that, I think that's what's resonating with him a lot more. I think he felt that, okay, if I take care of this old bitch at the end, is she gonna take care of me? Because she's telling me whatsoever. Maybe it was her intention. But, a lot of times people do a will or asset distribution or whatever. They do that decades before and completely forget, or, oh yeah, I'm going to get to it. And then it's time to go. And you never got to it. That's why it's always so important once a year to always review your paperwork. Always make sure that everything is in order. When it's my time to depart, I know I'm leaving the playbook behind on how to do it the best organized way. Ain't nobody gonna have no motherfucking question. Everything is spelled out to the motherfucking T. You know what I mean? It's important. It's important because the way that I see it is that I've seen a lot of families, destroyed because there was nothing in place explaining, and breaking everything down and giving access to everything, passwords and all of that, accounts and all of that coincides in one place. When you do that, then people, the family, have the time to grieve and to then, start healing from whatever the situation was, rather than having to continue to pick up the pieces. We call it having your affairs in order. Absolutely. And that even goes down to having your affairs with the men upstairs, or whatever, religion people believe. Absolutely. Every single angle. Anyway, I didn't want to take a turn on that, but I hope that this young man is able to take the therapy that he needs. It'll be interesting, to see how he would, what 5 years down the line will look like for him after he has matured a little bit. Men don't mature for a long time. It takes a while. It takes a lot of experiences and a lot of heartache and all that for them to really get mature. Anyway, with that said, I want to thank everybody who comes through. Thank you so much, Miss View. Thank you so much, Naris21, Incredible Hulk, everybody who comes through the replay. Please hit the like button. Thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Get some rest. Be safe. Enjoy Saturday tomorrow. Today, it was supposed to go up to 70 degrees. I really think it went to like 66, but I'm not complaining. I've been walking, Miss View. I've been getting myself together. This cruise is going to come soon. I'm excited. I'm ready. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace.